Okay. Brookie mentioned we'll be talking about legacy contact. Are you seeing my phone?
Yes.
Okay, mine went away for some reason or other, but I don't guess that matters. Let me know if you lose it. I want to talk about Apple Legacy Contact. Now, what is that? This is a tool Apple introduced a couple years ago to help you plan for the future. If you choose to trust someone with your Apple ID and data after you pass away, then somebody can go in and capture your pictures, notes, messages, and so forth. And how this works is um, once you set this up, for example, let's say you set it up with your lawyer, then you give him some contact information, ID, special numbers, special password that he has. And if you pass away, then he can take that information and along with the death certificate, send it to Apple. And once they bless it, then that person will have access to your phone. Now, it does not have access to your passwords, payment information, or purchases, but it could find all your pictures, all your messages, notes, and things like that. So let me walk you through that. Brookie, why isn't this showing up on my phone, on my screen?
Why don't you try Alt-Tab?
Thank you. I should have known that.
Yeah, you're the one that told me about it.
Anyway, here's my screen. And the first thing I'm going to do, if you want to follow along with me, or just watch me on the screen, I'm going to go to my settings. And a lot of the things about security and iCloud and all, you always tap on your name up here. So I'm going to tap on my name. And this will take me to another screen. And down here, it says sign in and security. I'll tap on that. And then we've got a lot of information here, but I'm going to scroll up and it says legacy contact here. So I'm going to tap on that. And then I've been practicing today, so I've got a couple of them already set up here. I'm going to have to change those. But anyway, if you want to add a legacy contact, you click on add legacy contact. And then in here, it will go to your contacts. I'm going to click on that. And it takes me to my contacts. And I'm going to I'll just go back and I'll try Brookie again. Where'd you go?
Why don't you try Thomas?
Pardon?
Try Thomas T. You're kind of in the B's.
It was there a while ago. So once you get here, it'll bring up your contact and you just tap on their email there and it'll go in and access your legacy information. Now, at this point, I'm not going to go any further here. If you want to do it at home, you can, but you have the option here. If the person has an iPhone, then you can text them that information. If they don't have an iPhone, you'll need to print it out. And if you print it out, you'll get a sheet like this that has a really long password in it. There must be 75 characters in there, so it's pretty secure. Again, once something was to happen to you, then you could that person would take that information, get the death certificate, and send it on to Apple for approval. So anyway, that's a good thing to be thinking about. I know most of us have a lot of favorite pictures. Our family may want those. You could have some notes and messages that they might want. An alternative to this would be to give your ID and password to somebody that you trust, and then they would have full access to your phone. That would include your passwords, payment information, and all that other stuff, plus the whole gamut. So you get an option there, whichever one you would prefer using. The digital access is pretty secure and a good way to protect your accounts. Okay, let me get back out of this. Okay, any questions about the legacy contact? As soon as I finish talking today, I will go ahead and add a handout to the chat, and you can download the information from there. Okay, the next thing I want to do is show you how to capture a photo from a text message. Brookie, would you send me a text message with a picture in it?
Okay, I'll do that.
Notice my text up here. I've got one in there that I haven't looked at. Ah, notice that one changed to a 2. Of course, that means this little number, if for terminology, that's called a badge, BADGE, and it shows how many pieces of information are in there. Down here in my mail, for example, I have a badge that shows I've got 85 emails. Anyway, I'm going to open this one, my messages, and I've got one here from Brookie, and it shows a picture here of somewhere in Colorado, and I want to download that. Now, depending on the phone you've got, you may have some different ways of doing it. The way mine is right now, you see this little icon with the arrow uh, pointing down. I'm going to click on that. Oh, here. And you notice it changed color, and then there's a check mark beside it. So I'm going to run over and check my photos, go to my photos, and here's the one she sent me. So it's now in my photos. Okay. Now, another way, if you're not able to do it that way, there's another way to do it, and that would be put your finger on the picture and do a long press. That means basically touch it and kind of push it a little bit and just hold it for a second or two. So I'm going to do that on this one here. And now I can go down here and I could save with where it says save the copy. I can do that, and that will do the same thing. Sometimes you get more than one picture. You may have to do it 2 or 3 times with each, or one time with each picture. So anyway, this way, anytime you get a text message, you can save it into your photos, and it's there. Okay, questions? And now I'll go ahead and download this into my into the chat room. Okay, Brookie, you're up.
All right, if you'll stop sharing, I will share my. I'm going to share my iPhone because it is a little bit stronger than my iPad and newer than my iPad. So it works a little bit better when we're Zooming, but what I'm going to show you works on the iPad and the iPhone. Okay, so, okay. All right. So what I'm going to share with you at this point is how to dictate, how to edit when you're in dictation. And if you're dictating a text message or an email, you can actually correct what you're dictating without manually making a change, touching on what your error is and then typing something else in. You can now do it just with your voice. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to go down here to messages, and I already have Joe's text up there where I sent him that picture. But I'm going to go down here into the message part, and I'm going to tap on it, and I'm going to start dictating a message. And as I dictate it, then I'm going to say, oh no, change it to something else. And you'll see that happen. Now, sometimes it doesn't cooperate, but hopefully it's going to cooperate this time. So I'm going to tap my microphone and start. I'm going to teach a class on markup tools. Change class to workshop. I want to go to Italy, period. Change Italy to Spain. Change Italy to Spain. All right, so then it gives me an ability. I have to hit off there. So it gives me an ability to change it. Let me try that again. I want to go to Italy, period. Change Italy to Spain. And then it gave me the choice of doing one or two. All right. So the other thing that I can do is after I look at it, I can make some other changes. And let's say I want to change teach to instruct. Change teach to instruct. So you see where it did that. It changed teach to instruct. So I kept not turning off my microphone, but that is just an easy way to make some changes. But you do have to turn off your microphone while you're doing it. Any questions about that? Okay. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is listening to a web page. So now you can actually, if you're using Safari, it only works with Safari, you can actually have it read the web page for you. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on Safari. And I have actually already searched for 35 best flowers and plants for autumn interest. That's a web page. And when I do that, if you look here at the top, this icon right here, if I tap that, it gives me the option to actually listen to this page. Now, your setup might show this icon down at the bottom. It doesn't matter where it shows up on your page, it's that icon, and it gives you listen to this page. So I'll tap on listen to the page, and then it will start.
35 best fall flowers to plant for a charming autumn garden. Fall is almost here, but that doesn't mean consigning yourself to a bare garden. And while, yes, chrysanthemums, those ever-popular fall blooming flowers, are on our list, there are so many more ways to plan for an autumn show.
Okay, so I'm hoping that you all heard that, right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So there might be an occasion that you want to actually have it read it to you instead of you reading it. So I do have a friend who has vision problems, so this will come really handy for her, for sure. So, okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with you is also a new feature, and it's called vehicle motion cues. All right. So to get there, you'll go to settings. And from settings, you'll come down here to under general to accessibility, and you'll tap accessibility, and then you will tap motion. And this is where you can set up this feature that when you're reading while you're riding in the car and you're prone to motion sickness, this feature will hopefully keep you from feeling that sickness. Okay, so I haven't tried it, and it's relatively new, but here is where you can turn it on and off, and you can also turn it on and off in the control center. So right here it says show motion, vehicle motion cues, and so I'm going to tap that, and this is where I can then turn it on. Okay, and so when I tap it on, in the iPhone, you have these three options. If you had tapped automatic, then if you got in the car, it would come on automatically. The iPad, what I've read is the iPad doesn't have those three options. It just has on or off. Okay, but if you're following along with me, you'll see that when you turn it on, you will actually have little black dots right here on either side. Okay, and those dots will detect the motion detected. Will detect the motion of your device. So what I'm going to show you at this point in time is how it works. All right. And so there's a video that I'm going to go, and I'm going to quit sharing my phone, and I will actually share my computer. All right. Okay. So here's information about it. So you've set up the vehicle motion cues. And when you do that, and you go to on any screen, but in this case, we've gone to a book, and see these little dots? These are the dots that have come up. And so I'm going to share this video with you at this point in time. Let me know if you can't hear it, but I've enabled it. You should be able to.
Vehicle motion cues recognizes when you're in a moving vehicle and responds accordingly. Animated dots on the edges of the screen represent changes in vehicle motion, which can help to reduce sensory conflict without interfering with the main content you're viewing. To make it easier to turn vehicle motion cues on and off, you can add it to the accessibility shortcut or to Control Center. Let's open Control Center and tap the Vehicle Motion Cues control. Now you can turn vehicle motion cues off or set it to turn on automatically in a vehicle. Enjoy the ride with vehicle motion cues. To find out more about the accessibility features on your Apple devices, subscribe to the Apple Support YouTube channel or check out our accessibility playlist to keep learning.
Okay, so that is the vehicle motion cues. Okay, all right. Now we've shared lots of things with you. Any questions? Do you think you might use the vehicle cues? Is there anybody here that would use it? I'm thinking maybe even with kids that are riding in the car that maybe get motion sickness. I know I would have liked that when I was younger. So, okay. All right. So, Joe, what's up for next month? What's Kurt doing?
Oh, next month. I'm going to do a couple things. One that's pretty neat is, say I'm headed to your house in Colorado. I'm leaving right now. What I can do is share my location with you. I can tap some different places in my phone and then send you a message saying I'm sharing my location with you. and then you can see me all the way across the country. A little map will be on there on your screen, and you can follow wherever I am. I'm spending the night in St. Louis, and in the morning you can see when I start moving again. Pretty neat app, and it's a good way to keep up with people. If you got two or three vehicles going in to the same place, you can tell where everybody is. Someone may stop to get gas and get out of the queue or something, and then you can find out where everybody is. So that's a pretty neat tool. And the next one is the check-in, where you can check in with your family members. You can send them a message called check-in, and then you can have a time when you're supposed to arrive. If you don't arrive in that time, it gives them a signal. Maybe something's wrong. And so we'll go into those details.
Okay, sounds good. We didn't mention up front that Kurt's not with us tonight because he has another volunteer job. He teaches at the aviation camp. So he's up in Cincinnati this week at aviation camp. But he should be back with us next month. And Joe, what's he teaching next month?
I wrote it down somewhere. Who knows where it is? How to curtail ads on your Mac.
Yes.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Some way to cut out the ads coming in on your Mac.
Yeah. And then I will show you using the markup tools on photographs and notes. And I teach that in the iPad class, but it's also good for the iPhone. But, you know, it's always good to have a reminder of all of the options available. In fact, last time I taught it, Janet showed me even more tools. So I've really been using the calligraphy pen as well. So it's a pretty cool feature on your iPad and on your iPhone. So, all right. Well, that's what we have for tonight. Any questions?
Don't forget to look in the chat if you want to download the information from tonight's meeting.
Joe, I don't see yours in there.
Refresh.
Refresh. Okay.
Fresh what?
Does anybody else see his article? You see his? Oh, okay. All right. So
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I see it.
Oh, I see it now
Okay.
too. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
You're right. I just had to scroll up. So both are there. Vehicle motion cues and the legacy. So
Right.
you've got both handouts. All right.
Good.
So,
I have one quick question. Can you do more than one duplicate or take a copy of a picture and a text? Can you do more than one at a time?
Sometimes I've seen where it'll capture them all, and sometimes I can't give you a definitive answer on that.
Okay, just trial and error.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the kids will send, 14 pictures and hey, it works.
all right.
Anyway.
Great. Okay. Well, the other thing that I did want to mention is that we've come up with something for next month, but we are always open to suggestions. So if there's a feature that you have heard about that you'd like to know more about, we'd be glad to do it. So feed those to us, and we'll be glad to do them on this session.